4 days from the time he took back the Labor leadership to win this year's federal election.
Now, the man who worked behind the scenes in Labor's desperate bid to retain office is telling all about that race to the ballot box. Political strategist Bruce Hawker has published his diaries, kept throughout what he calls the campaign to save Labor. And Bruce Hawker joins us now. Bruce, good morning. Welcome. Now, you write in your book that one of Kevin Rudd's strengths during the 2007 campaign was that he wasn't a typical Labor leader. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think in some ways he was bigger than the party. He didn't really just run with everything the party sort of stood for. He had his own agenda, and he was very intent on imposing that, I guess. So he wasn't just of the party in a way. He was bigger than the party. And I say that most Labor leaders that take us out of opposition into government tend to be like that. You know, the Whitlams, the Hawks, they're the sorts of personalities that you need.
OK, the rationale for putting Rudd back in was that he'd helped save the party from being decimated. Well, he got flogged in the election. But if they hadn't have put him in, what would have been the result?
Well, the polling before the resumption of the leadership by Rudd showed us that we were probably going to win perhaps 30 seats in a House of 150, which would have been a decimation. And I think that was what really drove the caucus in the end to say, look, we need to change leaders and put Rudd in. The problem, as I say in the book, is that we had a very, very short time then to recalibrate the entire campaign. And that was ultimately one of the big problems that we had.
Yeah. I mean, Tony Abbott's messages were certainly more clear. It did seem to be a more disciplined and positive campaign. Do you think the fact that Kevin was bigger than the party in so many ways clouded that ability for Labor to get messages out?
Well, I think it was one of the reasons why there was always a level of resistance to him within the party, and that sort of flowed into the campaign somewhat. You know, a lot of people left the campaign before it actually started. The campaign headquarters was decimated. They had to turn a lot of those things around. But those larger-than-life sort of personalities, and he was in that category, often struggle within the disciplines of a party like the Labor Party.
Why do the book? Will it hurt Bill Shorten?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's really, for the average reader, this will be an interesting look at the complexities of a campaign viewed from the inside. So if you've ever really wondered how hard it is to put one of these things together and to stay on course and sometimes not stay on course, this will give you a bit of an insight into it. But I think we always need to learn from, you know, what went before. There are a lot of flaws in those 74 days. I'm not going to deny that, and you have to learn from those things if you're going to improve.
Do you think, just really quickly, will Kevin be happy with the book?
Look,
do you expect a phone call from him, or are you...
What the hell's all that about? No, I think he'll be pretty okay about it, but, you know, it's a warts and all look as well.
OK.
Yeah. Well, if you're a West Wing fan or a House of Cards, books like this, you just love the inside story. All right, mate, thank you. Good to see you.